AI isn't just reshaping elections, it's rewriting reality in real time. We're not talking about sci-fi hype anymore. In 2024 primaries, tens of thousands of voters were hit with AI generated robocalls impersonating Joe Biden, telling them not to vote. That's election interference by machine. And it's actually happened. Deepfakes of public figures endorsing candidates they've never supported are flooding social media. These aren't just memes, they're weaponized illusions meant to fracture trust and steer decisions. You can't tell what's real, and how can you vote with confidence? Meanwhile, foreign governments like Russia and China are running AI powered psyops on American soil, building fake news sites, spinning propaganda, and flooding our feeds with synthetic bots that just sound like your neighbor. They know the average American can't spot an AI fake from a real post. This isn't just manipulation; it's invasion through information. If you still think this is all overblown, you're already behind. AI doesn't need guns to stage a takeover; it just needs attention and a good disguise. Okay, so yeah, in 2024, so they're saying that the 2026 election is going to be interfered with. That's the main headline. They believe that between bad actors within and bad actors without, that we are going to have a mass propaganda campaign with AI. Now, I have been able to spot some of the AIs. I will tell you what you really really have to pay close attention if you're going to discern from it one way or another. Okay, why do you need to pay close attention? Because there's this one where he says, I share every one of my live streams. That's not that. Nobody says live streams. That's there's the little flaws, the little nuances that if you're paying attention to them and if you're listening to them, you'll be able to know whether or not it's a fake. The other thing is that there are people that are getting calls from people that sound like their loved ones saying, I'm in trouble, I need money, please help me. And these are deep fakes, and people are being taken advantage of this way. Today, I used Grok to help me discern whether or not I was dealing with a legitimate letter from Google or if it was spam. And it caught some things I wasn't able to catch, because what they were doing is they were creating a mirror. So you have Google, and then you have your computer, and so what they're doing is intercepting all the information in between, and so they make it look like the actual page, like the actual information, but what's happening is all that information is going back and forth. Okay, and so what they're doing is they're harvesting it. It's called mirroring. This is an old school way to be able to hack. I mean, they've been doing this for 25 years at least. Okay, is to be able to do something like that. And before that, it was phones. You just tap into a line. That's why fiber optics became so important. Okay, so one thing that I strongly suggest is with you and with your family is that you should probably be looking at getting some sort of code word, not like banana pancakes. We're not talking about your safe word. We're talking about a code word. Okay, so with the code word, it should be something that is known between you and your family, because AI, because of all of our information being digitized, being public, being out there, like I said this morning, every man's sins will be on his doorstep. You don't have to be a Christian to believe that. What's up, Hogo? What's up, Chaos? All right, and so it just you're getting to a point where you have to really be careful and know what you're getting. Okay, you guys who followed me, I'm a real human being. You know that I go out there and I do my due diligence. I don't just sit there and take what's spit out to me, regurgitate it, and act as if it's my own. I have a lot more class than that. Okay, I use it as a tool to be able to help me, but some people aren't, and the bad actors definitely aren't, because it can do so much for you. You don't have to spend much time thinking. And so this is why the trade war is probably going to be the most detrimental to us as global citizens, not just Americans, but as global citizens, because while these two superpowers are having a knockdown, drag out fight. By the way, I got 50-mile-an-hour winds, guys. Sorry about that. Well, they're having a knockdown, drag out fight. These bad actors that are taking this technology and learning it are now on able to be out there free and going about and not having a single issue. Okay, and this is something that, as an individual, I would be concerned about. And this is why, because of how dangerous AI can be, we need to be able to have our governments working together to stop these bad actors and to put some of their differences aside. Otherwise, it's going to be cataclysmic for us all. So, so if AI can imitate every politician, every newscaster, even you, how do we fight back and how do we verify truth in 2025? What types of things do you guys have that you can use? Because you're going to have to figure this out. Am I dealing with the real person, or if I'm dealing with the robot? Am I dealing with technology, or am I dealing with the human? Because there are people now, you and me and the average person, we probably won't see this for probably about another 5-10 years in our daily life. But people who have money, people who have assets, people who are easily taken advantage of, people that are part of certain age groups, they are the ones that are going to be paying the price, because they're the ones that their their naivety is going to be what costs them the most.
You hear how hard that rain's coming down? How fast that is? Yeah. That is what I've been dealing with for 2 days